episode 10 of Rebel Roots, where we explore alternative living, health, homesteading, and planting seeds for transformation. My name is Rebecca Anzini. I am your host, inspired by my own journey, seeking intentional community. Over the last decade, I've lived in various communities, even started my own, and have now replanted roots in beautiful, spiritual Sedona, Arizona. I've traveled to Costa Rica myself. I was fortunate enough to participate in the 2024 Costa Rica Ecovillage tour. It was absolutely amazing. I have dreamed of attending Envision Festival, and I know one day I will. But today I am excited to have joining me Glo Moss, who has attended herself 6 Envision festivals and will be traveling to Costa Rica here in the next few weeks for the next one coming up here soon. She's going to share all of her amazing experiences as a digital nomad traveling the world, living this dream lifestyle. It's alternative. It might be considered fringe to some people, but at the end of the day, it's all about creating and cultivating beautiful relationships in an effort to regenerate this planet and connect with others who are aligned in the journey of building the new earth. Hello, Glo.
You so good to be here. I love how you're like singing the spiritual Sedona.
Why I do that? I sing when I talk.
I love it. It's like the expression of the soul. It's like, why not activate ourselves and express ourselves freely? Like that's what you're doing by sharing your Rebel Roots, podcast. It's so inspiring and incredible.
Thank you. And we've been like going back and forth about finding a date and a time. And it's so funny because so this is my 3rd stream of the day. And this is like how it always happens. Everything comes together at the same moment. It's like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. So I'm just riding the wave, riding the momentum, and I'm going to allow you to surf the wave and share your journeys. And maybe just start off by introducing yourself, a little about yourself, and your work on this fabulous planet.
Thank you. I'm grateful to be here. And I feel like I can't really describe myself as our whole being of, being one tiny microcosm of the entire whole planet Earth. And just, there's so many aspects of ourselves that we get to play into in our personality, into our work. And I feel like I am grateful that I get to do so many different things. I'm on the spiritual side, a yoga teacher, and I guide activations. Oh, I think we lost Rebecca.
I'm going to solo format.
Oh, okay, we are here solo journeying this journey.
It's all you.
Sorry. No, I didn't get a warning sign. So I was talking about being a yoga guide and a spiritual guide, and just an activator of people's divine purpose. So I do that through guided intuitive meditations and activations, and also intuitive partner yoga and massage. And then on the 2D structural technology level, I like helping people activate their presence on camera through grounding meditations and podcasting, and really helping people share their message and their wisdom with the world, because we are in the age of Aquarius, where we get to use our technology for purpose and to really activate the new earth and the regenerative movement. So everyone has a story, and the world we know is created through story. So once we can shift our own internal story, then we can share that with the world and start shaping culture in that way. The world is, as we know, created through story. So we get to start sharing the stories that we care about, like regenerative organizations, ecovillages, water projects, everything, creating harmonious relationships, finding balance between work and play, all these different things we get to share about online, it's so amazing that we have this technology and we get to use it to our best advantage so that we can, let go of this old darkness and this old paradigm that's, really killing humanity and the planet, into regeneration, into this embodiment, into like letting go of these old structures fall into this new paradigm. So I'm really excited to have the platform to share with Rebecca today. And I don't know where to begin. I can start kind of like with Envision or Costa Rica. Where should we begin?
Yeah, because it is really cool nowadays. We can connect so quickly online. But I think something that fascinates me about you, and I'm always living vicariously through you, I see all your travels and all the places you visit. And I've crossed paths with you at events and festivals on many occasions. And so to me, there's nothing more fulfilling than having those in-person experiences. And maybe you can share a little bit about how this lifestyle of being a digital nomad has provided you the freedom to travel to these different locations, but also connecting with these different projects, cross-pollinating, and then diving into Envision Festival and kind of what you do there and what that experience is like.
Cool, amazing, yeah. Well, I would say it's not even a choice. It's really, I'm a Sagittarius in a life path 5 in numerology, so I think it's just my blood and my DNA. It's I don't think I can't not travel, but the one advice I would just want to give to people out there that are thinking about maybe going to an eco-village or exploring an intentional community was just to go. So many people are limiting themselves by thinking they need like lots of money to travel, or they need this type of lifestyle, but no, like literally you can just put your shoes on, go outside, get on a bus, buy a plane ticket, whatever it may be, like find a way to do it. And even if you don't have the money or you don't think you have the money, get that new client or do whatever you need to do to make it happen, because your dreams are only on this other side of your fear of limiting yourself by not taking that action. So I just want to say, like, just throw any concept out of like not having enough money, because you do not need money to travel. There are so many ways to travel. And even I'm inspired by a friend that I did a little consult for. I showed him Workaway and HelpX, and he ended up going to Costa Rica because of that. And I helped him find the tools in order to do that. And now he's volunteering at Awake, which is an intentional community in Costa Rica. So inspiring and exciting that he's been there now for 3 months. And so now his life is completely shifted just because he took the chance of, applying for that volunteer role, and then completely changed his life. So it's really inspiring to see this transformation in people, and just, being able to, throw out any old ideas of like how we can live, because literally everything is infinitely possible. And so just being able to like tap into that is really exciting. And so I guess regeneration pollination, I wanted to mention that you talked about cross-pollinating. This is super crucial and key for me and for the collective right now in this time of transformation, as there's so many amazing platforms and existing projects that are shifting and shaping culture and regenerating the earth and transforming culture. And I think it's so crucial and key that we get to start sharing these different projects. So one of the biggest things that I share is like strategically is to do cross-posting and cross-marketing with other organizations like we're doing now on this podcast. We get to share different ideas, and in that way we get to highlight organizations, and while also just creating that togetherness by creating those cross posts, and by collaborating with List. Also, if you're an influencer, I do a little bit of influencer marketing where we connect aligned influencers with aligned projects, so we can create way more ripple of impact by sharing our lists and by working together. I think one of the biggest challenges that I faced, I guess, in shifting my own life was being able to just being depressed, and actually what really brought me out of that was actually seeing a video of a TEDx talk of intentional communities, and I was crying in my bed in Mexico, and I was so separated from everything, and I didn't feel like I deserved to be around people. And I don't know, by watching that TED talk, it just inspired me that wow, I didn't even know that intentional communities existed until that moment when I watched that video. So to be able to be invited by Karma Tribe, which was a gifting economy platform of people helping each other for free online, where you could make a profile and you can offer anything that you want. You can offer any gift, and then you can ask for anything, and completely separate each other. And through that platform, I was volunteering online with them. They invited me to come to Envision Festival, and so that's how I heard about it in 2018. And they had me as a networker, which is my, of course, favorite role as a 4/6 generator in human design. I'm a master networker, and I'm holding this big, huge catalog database of the New Earth organizations above my, my consciousness. But that weekend we signed up 500 people on the email list, and it was just so incredible to be in that role. It completely transformed my life to be in a role and to feel like I'm like worthy and to feel like I'm doing something that's good, because we were handing out water with cucumbers and like lemon. But coming from being so depressed and suicidal, not wanting to be alive on planet Earth, to like then having this purpose, and hearing David Casey's talk about New Mundo, which was a platform of Ecovillages. I never knew about it before that. And that completely shifted my world too, because then I went straight to an eco-village after Envision Festival. I visited Verde Energia, which is near Purascal in Costa Rica. And they have other projects like Black Sheep, and they do cacao and other local like natural products. And, that completely set the trajectory of my life, because I learned about, transformational festivals and eco-villages and sustainable communities, because I always cared about the earth. And I have been an environmentalist my entire life since I was a kid, writing stories about saving the dolphins and, like at school. And then I would always have to like go home and like, I'd write like, oh, I need to go eat lunch. And then I'd go back to saving the dolphins. And, so from there, always being an environmentalist at heart, I, did presentations on endangered species in high school, and then, went to the Amazon rainforest and did conservation research for 6 months, hiking 8 hours a day, collecting data on the frogs, snakes, butterflies, everything, and having this deep realization, this deep connection with nature, and the realization that our biodiversity matters, and that each and every species is so intricate to this ecosystem. And that really gave me a foundation before I ever had any other awakening around spirituality or conscious community, to have this deep-rooted sense of this really is important. Our ecosystems and our wildlife are crucial and key to our thriving planet and a thriving humanity. And so all these different aspects of my life, it brought me to really being disembodied, to realize that I actually had to heal myself first and regenerate myself and start to heal myself before the planet, because we externalize it and we start to fight, and we're saying, no, we have to fight climate change and we have to do all these things. And like, yes, we are at the height of the ecosystem destruction, but we're not going to fix that by fighting an old system. Mm-hmm. We actually need to create harmony and unity. And that's where embodiment and regeneration come in, where it's like the weaving of the web of life with, regenerative practices, where let's create water systems that actually, don't waste all of our water. And let's, start to plant locally and create sovereign food systems. Let's stop wasting plastic, and let's stop putting all our money into the oil industry, and let's start supporting the businesses that matter, that are making local natural plastic-free products. And, there are so many different actions that we can take just in our own life, buying from a community supported agriculture system, saying, just bringing your own bag, your own bottle, your own, cup to reduce single-use plastic. You can, support your local businesses. You can plant trees. You can start a garden. There are so many ways to just make tiny actions in your own life, even just going down like we just did earlier. You went and sat with the earth, like giving that gratitude to the earth and connecting like physically with the earth, because she wants us so badly to just connect with her, because we're so disconnected being on our computers all the time. And so like, I feel like the first number one step is just to go back with nature, and to like be in the water, be with the trees, be with the bugs, and be with the soil, and just really reconnect with nature first. And then that will inspire the other actions to want to shift and transform other aspects of our lives and of the projects that we surround ourselves with, the people, the community, and then to the collective regeneration of our earth.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like Costa Rica, maybe you can speak more to this as well, since you lived there for so many years at various communities. Like, I think there is something really powerful happening there, just like reshaping these like daily lifestyle decision-making and practices, and the culture there, and the integration with the local communities too, in the ticos, and the way that the food is grown, and the renewable energy. I don't know, like, I've never been to Envision, but when I did travel there for the Costa Rica tour, I just was like, whoa. Like, it's I don't know, like maybe you can share, like for folks who are like, oh, it costs money to go to these festivals or it costs money to go travel to Costa Rica. Like once you're there, like there's opportunities to tap in, right? Volunteer, like work trade, like what advice could you give to people who are dreaming of this lifestyle but haven't like taken like, you said fear kind of prevents you. That's the other side of it from like the behavior, the action of actually going for it and like taking the risk. Like what would you, I don't know, say to folks who maybe need a little pep talk or advice from someone who's lived the lifestyle yourself?
Yeah, definitely just do it. Like it doesn't like you don't need money to do it. Like you will make it happen if you really want to commit to it. It's like write it on your calendar what date you're going. It's like, okay, I'm going to Costa Rica February 22nd or whatever it may be, right? And then the universe will organize around you to make that happen, right? It's like you just deciding and committing that you want to do that. Because the thing that like the snake behind me and like the road of life, it's like everything will change, right? Your plans might change, but by you committing to like I am committing to doing this thing. I'm committing to flying to Africa next year to go to Tanzania because that's one of my dreams, right? On November 22nd, 2027, whatever it may be, right? Once we set a date, then your mind is like, okay, it's in this organization mode of, okay, how do I do that now, right? It's like, how do I find the money to get that flight to Costa Rica? How do all these different things? And so it just shifts your mindset, but also the universe starts shifting around you, and there's always like literally there is no way that you could never not go to a festival. Okay, so this is like the golden key of festivals, right? Is that there's always someone that's going to cancel their job. There's always someone that's going to be sick that can't show up there for their volunteer position. So there's literally no way that you cannot go to a festival. So I just wanted to plant that seed for people because there's always opportunities, Um,
Dog is barking at my door right now.
you want to bring him in?
Okay, how about I take my camera off for a second, attend to him, and you can share a little bit about everything you've experienced in this lifestyle and what it means to be a digital nomad. And then I'll mute myself and go grab him.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just wanted to share a little bit about, the isolation and coming back into the community and connection because, we can often feel so isolated, in our own boxes, in our own worlds. And communities in festivals and traveling are just so transformative. It's like you never know what is out there until you take that step out. And it's especially with transformational festivals, like this is how we really get to express ourselves freely and step into a new stage, a new platform. And I'm just so grateful that I've gotten to step onto stages at festivals like Lightning in a Bottle, talking about eco consciousness and reducing waste. And the first ever platform I had was Envision Festival. Like I did a short little guided meditation, and then I slowly got to to share more on stage about zero waste. And then I did a panel of regenerative storytelling. And so these transformational festivals are really a space for you to shed old layers and to step into like the new self, because once you put that wristband on, it's like a whole new world. It's like you're not in your old mindset. So when you get to like step into that new door, like through that new door, then you get to like recreate yourself. It's like a rebirth into the next level of yourself. So it's really incredible to be able to do that. And even I was at same but different festival, and I was doing a yoga class, and I was like, wow, why is this feeling so transformative? And I just felt this deep gratitude for being able to create the life that I have in festivals, because honestly, I've found the most transformation in my life through festivals, to be able to connect with new people and to create connections and community, and to step into empowering myself to speak on stage. And so I just want to invite you to think about what would that look like for you to go to a transformational festival, and what would that feel like to step into the next version of yourself. And say with traveling, it's like if you're thinking about going to Costa Rica or just wherever you're thinking of going to travel, as this is focused around the Ecovillages tours, it's just like don't limit yourself in blocking yourself and thinking that it's not possible for you, because literally anything is possible. And there are so many amazing eco villages in Costa Rica, like um, Ecovia San Mateo is a really cool example. Like, like Rebecca said, it's like really transformative in Costa Rica, the way that everything is so green and abundant. So it's like, if you have a piece of land, you can just easily make your own garden. And what I think is cool about the bigger model of, for example, Ecovia San Mateo, is that like we have this bigger model where we can create an entire village with like 200 houses, right? And then we have 6 different gardens and then 6 different pools, and it's creating this environment that we get to share with each other, and we get to create similar lifestyles so that we can up level and upgrade our lives and our consciousness, and then we can eat from the land. That's number one, is being able to like know where our food source is coming from, and not having to buy from Nestle and Procter and Gamble and all these companies that put so many toxins and so many chemicals and are it's so extractive, and it's really causing human slavery and suffering on planet Earth, like most of the food that we eat, versus shifting into creating sovereign food systems. So number one foundation, being able to really visit these permaculture projects is just so transformational when you get to pick fruit from a tree, and you get to walk on the land, and really reconnect to the root of what it is to be a human on planet Earth, and connecting with Earth, with the water, with the ocean, with the trees. And so there's just so much transformation that comes with travel too, and I think it's the best form of education, because literally there's no other education like travel, because you're going to go through challenges. It's messy. It's not easy to get on that if you have to take a bus somewhere, or like whatever, your plans get canceled. It's like travel isn't easy, but it's so rewarding, and we can learn so much about all the cultures of the earth and the planet just by traveling. I think that's the greatest detriment to human consciousness right now, is actually the restrictions of our travel. Because imagine if it was normalized, if travel was normalized, then people would get out of their own shell, their own bubble, because they can only see what's in their bubble, in their hometown, for people that haven't left their hometown, versus like getting to experience other cultures. Like I moved to China when I was 21. So it's basically like moving to Mars, right? In terms of like being able to experience different cultures on planet Earth and experience everything.
Yes. Here's our troublemaker. So funny enough, one of the questions we were going to talk about was like relying on like focusing inward, but then also like building community, building the village. And I heard a knock on my door, so I was like, that's odd. And that's why he was barking. But it was my neighbor. She texted me. She does cottage industry, and she makes like fresh soup and like homemade breads for the local community. And she goes, knock, knock, there's a surprise at your door. I don't know. It's just like little things, like connecting with others and building like those connections. And it's not just that you have to be the one physically like picking the fruit from the tree or whatever lights you up and like brings joy, but there's always like others in the village who everyone has their own little gifts that they contribute. And yes, and this guy contributes by being cute.
Bringing the life force energy, the light. Yes. Yeah, it really takes a village, like you said. Like it's everyone has their own gifts to share, which is super amazing and super crucial key. Like in order to heal the planet, like we need everyone's gifts online. Like everyone activate their gifts now, because we need the healers. We need each and every aspect. We need the builders. We need and what I see for the next level of eco villages and creating sovereignty and human on planet Earth is to create the flourishing festivals. And so I've written copy for a landing page, and I know that it's going to come through in the future, but we have hundreds of people with land that are in our network, and right now they like lack the resources and the funding to like actually bring their project to full flourishing and fruition. So I'm really looking forward to transition from festivals into bringing the festival culture into land projects, so that we can build the gardens and build the structures and have workshops and have epic DJs and music while building the new communities.
Yes.
Yeah.
with you there. There's so many landowners and they're like, we want to do it, but we don't have the people or the resources. Yeah, I'm with you. It's like, oh my gosh, people want to go live on the land and they don't have the land, and the people have the land and they don't know how to connect with the people. Like, ah! Yeah.
Yeah. What communities did you visit when you went to Costa Rica?
So I went to the Ark. I went to Holos, Tierra Amor, Rancho Delicioso. Oh gosh, the home farm. Oh my gosh, that's not on our this year, but what, that waterfall, like this was like heaven on earth. We got to in the Diamante cave. I guess now they do not allow people to do that, so I got to do it like before they closed off to overnight trips.
No.
I got lucky, I guess, but so we literally got to sleep under a waterfall in the cave.
Yeah.
And they make the food for us, at night. The family that does the tour, that was like an option to add on for the trip. Those are some of the communities that come to mind off the top of my head. I know we're going to Tierra Amor and the Ark again for Ecovillage tours. We're doing that in April. So there's a lot of new communities too that have been added to the lineup that I personally haven't visited. I love what you said about just like committing to a date, putting it on the calendar. Like, I felt so called to visit Damanhur. I don't know why. It just has always been a true heart desire for me. And I expressed to Cynthia, I was like, whatever I can do, I want to do the Global Eco-Village Network Conference, which is in Germany in the summer. And I'd like to stick around and then help with the Greece Eco-Village tour, then the Italy Eco-Village tour. So we're still like sorting out the details. But I'm like, these are the dates. I'm just going to commit myself to this. And then boom, she was like, okay, let's do it. So I'm like, yeah, I committed to the date. I like held it in my heart, expressed verbally what I'd like to do. And then like things just started to line up. Like you said, like you work backwards. It's like, here's when it's happening. Here's what I want to do. And now like all the pieces start to come together so that you can plan ahead for that beautiful dream and vision to unfold. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. Did you go already?
It's this summer. So I'm leaving in July. That's the plan. All this is very fresh. This was like a week ago that it all got, I guess, presented as an option formally. And then the Italy tour and the Greece tour are like Greece happens, and then like 2 days later, the Italy tour where we're going to Damanhur and Torre Superiore. Like, oh my gosh. So I'm excited to reconnect with my lineage. And it'll be really cool. I've wanted to go visit Italy for so long. So
I have to connect with someone. I have a friend that has a land project there.
Ooh, yes, please. Yeah,
and I'm Oceana, but they might change the name, but yeah, and that reminds me of coming into the decentralized network of communities. So just talking a little bit about the history of traditional Dream Factory is in Portugal, and they have built a decentralized network. So if you are a community, you can actually work with them to create they have white label systems too. So you can create like a landing page that you can actually take payment in blockchain and your own token, and create these alternative ways of exchanging with your stays at your community, which is really cool. And they're building really like a trust network, which I feel like is really crucial and key now, is to build this greater network of, there's so many communities, but there's nothing that actually links us together yet. So there's a lot of silos in the regenerative movement. So I think it's so incredible. And that
they're a DAO, right? Like decentralized autonomous organization. That's one of the communities on the Portugal Eco-Village tour. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. They bought a chicken factory
that's traditional Dream Factory.
Is what?
That's traditional Dream Factory. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, they're so incredible. I was there for 2 weeks after Gathering of the Tribes last year, or 2024. And that was my first time in Europe, and it was so incredible. I'm like, oh, I would have stayed if I wasn't going back to Solar Punk Summit in Austin for 2024. I was only there for a month, but I think I would have just probably moved to Europe.
Yeah. A lot of people do just move to Portugal. Like there's a lot of people moving to Portugal. That's another hub like Costa Rica, right?
Yeah. There's so many in Portugal. Oh my goodness. Do you have a Portugal Eco-Village tour coming up?
We do. Yep. That one's in April. And so I'm like, I don't know that I could swing April through October, but I can definitely swing July through October. So those are the dates I'm like, let's go. Plus,
Nice.
it's really hot in Arizona in the summer, like really bad. So I'm like, get me out of here. This sounds great to go to Europe in the summer.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted for 2027 because I definitely am going to be on a world tour. So I'm happy to hop onto any Ecovillage tour as well. When are the Costa Rica tours this year?
So we've already done. So one's actually happening literally right now. Like it happens February 5th. What is the date?
Today's
February. Okay, it started today. And then we just did the central one in January, and then we had the one for the Diamante Valley where we're going to Holos, and that's happening right now. And then in April as well, there's Tierra Amor, the Arc. I could screen share and share it. I know we have your code too, so for folks who want to join an Ecovillage tour, I can do this easily. Tech, cooperate with me, Tech. Okay, share.
Yeah, and I just want to mention that waterfall that you're talking about, the Diamante waterfall, is actually viewable from Holos, so it's really beautiful. It's one of the, and I'm curious to know if you went with Pacific Journeys, because I wanted to go so much, for so long to behind the Diamante waterfall, because it's the biggest waterfall in Costa Rica, and actually in the Diamante Valley is where a lot of the conscious community travel into. So it's like a lot of permaculture projects. So if you don't know Costa Rica that well, you won't find it on a map, but it's a secret hidden gem of Costa Rica is the Diamante Valley, because there's so many different projects in there.
When I was there, I was like, okay, so you're super close to the beach. Like it was not far at all. It was like maybe 20-minute drive from where like the home farm, for instance, is, or Holos. And then you're also like tucked away where the mountains, it's like there's a lot of waterfalls and it's colder. Like I felt like it wasn't as humid or like sticky as some of the spots. And then the communities were all very close. Like you could walk from Holos to home farm, it seemed like. I don't know. We were driving, but
they're across from each other. Yeah, they are. Did you go with Pacific Journeys to to Diamante waterfall?
Yeah, that's where we did the cave, where we hiked. Yeah. It was a 3-hour hike up to the cave, and then we were in the I think it was the Diamante Valley cave. You like hike for had to have been at least a 2.5 to 3 hour hike. And then the waterfalls go. We did something too where you rappelling, I believe it's called, where you're like with ropes and a carabiner, and you get to jump off the mountain or like go down the waterfall.
Oh, nice.
Go backwards. I think it's called rappelling. Anyway, that was a really interesting experience because I'm not a huge fan of heights, but I did pull through. These are the dates for the tours for 2026.
I can't see much. It's so kind of hard to see. So it's April 2012 to 20. April 12th to 21st. Yeah, it's just a little small, but yeah. So it's the 12th to 21st then.
Yes. So these are coming up, and the one is happening right now, February 5th through the 15th. So yeah, we do Costa Rica tours every year. Like this is the cave I was talking about where we went. That's it in the Diamante. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But yeah, such an experience.
And where are you going? It's in the north. Cool. Nice.
Yeah, Nosara, right, is where the Tierra Amor is, like Nosara, which is a blue zone. They say like that's where a lot of people generally can live the longest. Like it's like a health hub for whatever reason, because there's like various blue zones, I guess, around. I want to watch that documentary around.
Yeah, it's good. It's so beautiful up there. The sand is actually more white there, like for the western side, because you only really get a tiny bit of white sand, like in the Pacific or like in the eastern side near the Caribbean side. And then the sand is like darker from Jaco to Manuel Antonio to Dominical to Vita, and it's like brown, which is so beautiful. But then in the north, in Guanacaste, you have Nosara and Samara and Santa Teresa and Tamagringo, where all the gringos go. I'm just kidding. It's beautiful too. I love Tamarindo, and the water and the sand is actually quite white in Santa Teresa, so it's really beautiful. I've only spent 3 days in Santa Teresa over the 3 years that I lived there, but I can't wait to go back and spend more time in the north, because I'm always like near the south, near the Diamante Valley, and the if you're in the Diamante Valley too, it's really easy to hitchhike. Like what's the best story I have hitchhiking was actually manifesting a house sit in the Ecovilla, and because I brought my friend, I got her a job at Envision Festival 2023, and then you can see on the map there, or if you go back to the map, anyways.
Ecovilla is kind of by where Envision is, right?
No, it's more north, but I was hitchhiking towards the Diamante Valley to Ecomaste in the Diamante Valley in Puente Verde, and I'm always hitchhiking in Costa Rica anyway. So we get picked up by this guy, and then we realize like he's really good friends with my friend Brian, who's also my birthday twin, who I like lived with during 2020 COVID in Ecovilla, when COVID hit. And then Ariel, he's just like, oh, well, me and we end up spending time together at Ecomaste because he was going to go spend a few days at Ecomaste, which is a really cool place everyone should check out. And he's like, well, me and my wife are going to travel to San Jose. Like, why don't you watch our daughter in our house? And so me and Kelly got to go, and we did some organizing. I love doing organizing is a great way to also contribute too. So I love organizing cabinets, and I organized their cabinets, and then was my first time actually living, like spending more time in Ecovilla, which was such a gift, to do that right before Envision Festival, to be in the Eco Village with the garden dome. And
where is Envision on this?
So if you go down to Uvita, if you scroll in,
I see it. Yeah.
So it's in between Dominical and Uvita, so you can kind of scroll, and I can show you Playa Hermosa.
Dominical, a bit more? Playa Hermosa. Okay, I see it.
It's between there. Yeah.
So here.
It's like it's like a 5-minute hitchhike ride from Uvita. So you can always if you're just leaving Envision, you can just hitchhike to town. It's super easy.
You feel safe?
During the day, it's so safe. I had hitchhiked during the night. Like literally, okay. So when I first got to Costa Rica in 2018, I was literally like scrounging my pesos in my bag to get the bus to my couch surfing house in Costa Rica. And then I actually volunteered at Selena in Jaco for a month, which was amazing to be on the beach for a month there. But I would, back in the day, that would be my daily routine. It's like hitchhiking. Like in 2019, I'd be just hitchhiking every day. And sometimes it would be crazy because I'd be so for example, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go from Diamante Valley to maybe Dominical, right? But then I end up in the northern part of Costa Rica. I would go hitchhiking and I would end up 6 hours north, because I would just go with the ride was oh, I'm going north. And so I'd be like, okay, I'll just hop in and go north, And even two years ago, I ended up hitchhiking. So I was I had to get to my flight to leave Costa Rica, and I took a bus to the Dominical road, the main highway, because I've hitchhiked that road so many times. And I was I'm gonna miss the bus or whatever. And I was oh, whatever, maybe I'll just hitchhike. And so I was not expecting anything. And then I get picked up, and he's actually going to San Jose, which he lives a few blocks away from my hostel. So I got a whole ride from all the way from Dominical all the way to San Jose to my hostel, which is so incredible.
Law of attraction, manifestation.
It's incredible, and especially in the Diamante Valley area, it's so easy to so much community. So it's if you're going to an event or something, you just hitchhike, and so.
Well, this makes me want to go to Envision Festival and sign up for the April tour and go enjoy Costa Rica again. I'm I'm in a stage of rooting in my life right now, but maybe next year. Okay, I'll say.
I know. I was I'm deciding if I'm gonna cat sit for 2 weeks or go to Envision early. I'm still figuring out my ticket. Universe don't have my ticket yet. But just my goal is to create a little mini documentary and highlight all the amazing organizations at Envision, because I literally know everyone. It's my 7th year, which is a full 7 years is a full complete circle. And so I really want to just connect the community together and do some more filming and hop around like a good fairy does at a festival and pollinate and connect and weave and network. So calling that in, and then also just figuring out
Who has an extra ticket?
Right? Yeah. Calling in the chicken.
Anyway, some
It's
people join us. So people watching on the interwebs, if you all have questions for Glo, please type them in.
yeah. If anyone wants any information about Costa Rica or just like traveling in general, to if you're looking at volunteering and traveling, anything like that, I'm happy to hop on a call, happy to share. And if you are an eco village or a community, and would really love to come visit your space. And I do strategic development and media and marketing. So I love helping people activate their presence on camera. I'm also a space holder, nurturer, Cancer, midheaven. So here to hold space so people can process and shift and move their energy so that they can create more harmonious relationships in their life.
I love how before we went live, you were like, go outside. We're going to do a grounded, guided meditation, sit on the earth, sunset. And we're both like just setting in. You were right. That did clear my energy. And I definitely felt a lot more alive after that, because I was like, oh, this is my third thing of the day. I've been in front of a computer. So thank you.
Of course, yes. It's my pleasure. I'm excited to potentially, promote Ecovillage tours at Envision Festival this year, and I'm excited to be on an Ecovillage tour and be a part of it. I'm grateful that you guys are like weaving all, like, it's just even just the fact that you're putting these different nodes in a tour. It's like creating this cohesion and unity, because then it's like everyone's co-marketing together, because everyone gets promoted in that tour, and so we get it's so beautiful, because then we get a lot of more exposure for these communities. And so I'm excited to see Ecovillage tours grow and be a part of it.
Yeah, it's been since 2019, and we've done a lot of tours all over the world, but it's definitely been the hub for Costa Rica. I mean, people, obviously it's beautiful there, so that's, sign me up. But then also just the communities there and showcasing and highlighting, so established, and even the forming ones too. Like when I went there to the Arc, they had already been starting with their like food production and things along those lines, but they had their site plan, but they were still in the formative, beginning stages. And they're like, well, shoot, we've never hosted a catered meal with food from our land for almost 30 people. So they built out this, beautiful like view, like the coolest spot. They built out a little area that was a long bench that was covered. And they're like, wow, by doing this tour, it created an opportunity to pull something together so that and now they could host at that time more catered events and more, breaking bread and bringing people together and enjoying one another's company on the land.
We need it more accessible like this, like you're saying, like even the ones that are developing, like my goal is to really create a platform also to have micro investment for projects. Even like I have friends like, Rachel in Texas, and she's super open to partner with people to like put domes on her land. And like, we can do these micro investments where it's like we're, investing into our land and like we just need to make it more accessible, because like right now it's like we're all living wherever, but it's like we could be living in these communities and actually supporting these grow versus just like putting our money, like where is the money going, right? It's like if we're just putting it into some random building versus like let's make it easier to get access to these communities, that like if we're investing into them by staying there and by bringing our energy there and bringing our workshops and bringing our our voice and our gifts and our skills, then it's like then we get to actually start like building the regenerative movement better and quicker. And so I really want to planting the seed to make it easier for people to like sign up for these tours, and also having a living network of nodes of where we can live. And like that's my dream goal is I was working with Cohere Network in Guatemala, and they were like doing regenerative land development design and like looking at different pieces of land, like, oh, is this good for regenerative development? But one of the crucial key goals was to build a decentralized network of communities, and have fractionalized ownership. And so that's really the dream goal in the future, is to really, I want to have, like ownership in a network of communities where it's like, I can just, live there and live there and live there. And it's like, and it's just like all, within the same equity and the same, value system, if it's fiat currency or not, or whatever, beyond fiat currency in a token in the system, whatever it may be. But like, it's like I just want to be, it's like I can own a share in that network, and then it's like I can live here, I can live there, whatever it may be. And even it could work on, I guess, on both scales of like if the ownership model of having equity and for people that are traveling to like timeshare. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, I moved to Sedona originally because I was working for Hilton at their timeshare office, and I had this idea of like just like how they do a point system where people travel and they get access with their timeshare and all the portfolio of the different developments for Hilton. I was like, oh, what if we did that for the Ecovillage movement and you bought your points or whatever, currency, like wherever you live in the world. And maybe it was through like cryptocurrency or something like that. And the points could get exchanged at different values for different properties. Like if you're going to go stay in Vermont and it's like a community that has, tiny homes, then maybe that's less points than a community in Costa Rica that's right on the beach and is like, like whatever, different points for different seasons and demand and blah, blah, blah. That was an idea that kind of floated through my mind and then it exited and now it's re-entering and I'm verbalizing it. But when you said time, yeah.
yeah. And then it could also like with AI now we can build anything and like we can build widgets. What I'm really seeing that I'm excited for is like now with AI we can prompt anything. So we can actually build layers upon our platforms. Holochain is building a new internet, like all these different organizations. But like I just see it as like we need to use the technology for good. And we can link things from like apps and platforms to the other like apps, and it's not going to be difficult anymore because we have AI to do that. So it's like, even I was just thinking like the AI system could like shift like the value, like you're saying, like, oh, it maybe, it'll shift value for the beachfront in Costa Rica versus in Vermont, where like that could be automated, whereas like it'll just automatically like be a smart system where it'll convert like, okay, this is like the 2 joules is like 1.2 joules in Costa Rica,
Yeah.
like seeds the regeneration too.
Vermont's kind of expensive too. Maybe
Okay,
an example.
well, maybe it's Bali or Indonesia, Cambodia.
Yeah,
Cambodia.
Further.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Really think about it. Yeah.
And that comes to the idea of like everything is like is just like, it's made up. And so I invite people to step outside their box and expand their own realm of consciousness by traveling, but also like we can create these systems. Like the monetary system is fake and corrupt, and inflation is fake and corrupt. So we can build whatever whatever we want to create a better earth. So I encourage everyone to build forth the new systems as well.
What is it called? The power horse, or what is it? You were talking about it earlier.
Yes.
Our shedding is almost over.
Final shed. So we did a shed with this. This is the water snake of the Vedic astrology from Ashlesha. She is the water snake. She's poison, but also alchemy. So it's really a time to tune into what's the poison in your, what was the poison maybe on the full moon, or what has been coming through in your life that may be challenging. And it's really time to like alchemize that, turn the pain into wisdom and to share that with the world. And it's like I've been feeling that a lot with just energetics and being able to hold space from the heart center. It's like even a lot of people, it's like moving beyond the anger and just taking a step back to actually come back into neutrality and to really realize like how our actions and how our words and how our energy affects those around us. So to really like share from the heart and to always come back into the heart and lead from the heart.
Yes, I love this. Do you want to close out with a little guided meditation or prayer? I don't know if that's coming to me right now. I think that you would be great at leading that.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for asking. Yeah, of course. Let's close it out. So just taking a moment to just give gratitude for this time that we get to share together, for all the communities, the eco-villages, the New Earth nodes, the decentralized network of communities, just for the opportunity to share and change and transform. Just taking a breath in stillness and just letting any layers fall away, shedding the old snake skins of the year 9, 2025 into the fire horse year. And just giving this prayer to the waters on planet Earth so that we can give gratitude to all the purest, clean water that's coming forth, the most highest vibrational water, from the waters in our body to the rivers and the lakes and the streams and the oceans, purified, rid of plastic and oil and chemicals, and just seeing the revitalization of all waters on planet Earth, revitalization of all of our wisdom keepers, our indigenous wisdom keepers, sharing all their knowledge, their ancient wisdom, and all the species, all the land animals, the birds and the water species thriving once again, repopulating all the dolphins and the whales, the tigers and the monkeys. And then just reconnecting this consciousness, this web of life to this greater awareness of the entire universe, into the cosmic consciousness, into the ether. And just shifting into this greater awareness, this greater field of energy, this coherence that we get to create together to shine and unite all these platforms of co-creation, manifestation, of harmony in planet Earth. And just feeling this energy from our heartbeats, feeling this energy of all the hearts on planet Earth. And just may every heart be lit up by the spark of their soul, this ignition, this flame, to remember their wholeness, their worthiness, their inner worth. That they don't need to force or take or do things that are not kind to others, and to remember their worthiness beyond measure, to let go of this scarcity, lack, or limitation, this artificial scarcity. Know that their true abundance is within them, and it's all around them. All the connections, all the resources, all the opportunities are always there, waiting for us to open that new door. I'm so grateful to have this space to share, for Rebecca to be sharing her roots and her activation of all these amazing beings sharing, so that we can co-create heaven on Mother Earth and see the regeneration of our planet in this lifetime. Aho.
Aho. Ooh, yes. So lovely talking with you. Thank you for sharing your story and all of your great information. And yes.
Yay. You.
Yay. Oh, all right. Well, that was the most beautiful. Yeah, I was going to say, that was the most beautiful closing that I could have ever hoped for. So I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it's so great we get to co-create together and to just step into the vision, because when we bring our hearts and minds together, we're so much more powerful and than just one being by themselves. So then we get to activate, and then we get to share also online, and then more people get to see, and then we get to reach thousands and millions and billions, and then every heart is activated and everyone's living in their purpose, and and everyone, it's like a thing that's coming to me a lot in different pieces of content. It's just like the old world becomes obsolete because we create this new world that's so much better. It's like not fighting. Not much better. We get to like play and enjoy and have peace and harmony and laugh and grow, and just letting go of anything that's not serving and stepping into that new paradigm. So I'm excited to continue to weave with you and see, and continue to be a part of the network. And I'm excited and so grateful that it's like that's what completely changed my life, going to Ecovillages in Costa Rica, and I wouldn't be the same person without it, So I'm so deeply grateful for the opportunity to breathe and live and share and liberate my own voice and step more into empowering my own voice, and just reminding everyone on this channel and whoever's tuning in to like really tune into your own purpose and your own message, and ask yourself, like, if today was the last day on earth, what would you be doing? How would you be doing it? And ask yourself, what is your message for the world? It's like, even if it's the tiniest message, like, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's still so important for you to share your voice, because that liberates your soul, and it allows other people to feel that connection, because other people can be going through the most toughest time, and your one message, your one story that you post could change someone's life. You never know who's on the other side. And so just continue to share your magic and your wisdom and your message and your heart in the world.
And so it is. Well, thank you so much, and blessings, and I hope that the safe travels unfold in a beautiful way as you make your way down to Costa Rica for Envision Festival.
Yay, amazing. How can we find this online after? It'll be on your YouTube channel? And
yeah, we're live right now. It is already happening. So it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. And then tell me, so I know your code is GLOW200. This is for the Ecovillage Tours discount for $200 off. But then also, how can folks follow your work or keep in touch with you?
Yes, I'm GLOMOSS111 on Instagram, and then Glo Moss on Facebook, and also LinkedIn is a great place to connect. Do you know you can just connect with so many? Like yesterday, I just added like 100 people that are in ocean conservation work, and I'm like, wow! My friend was like, Glo, just connect with everyone. I was like, I need to be doing this. Why am I not doing this? So, yeah, and it's all like LinkedIn's such a great way to build your business, and underutilized platforms. So, yeah, and yeah, feel free to reach out. I'll be sending more links soon and sharing more online. So, working on a series about regenerating the earth and content. And so, yeah, I have a YouTube channel too. I think it's Glo Moss one. I'm not sure. I'll add the link later. But
like, you will be posting things that remind me. Like, I saw your yoga post the other day, and I'm like, yes, I need to stretch.
Yes. Yay. Yes, reminding people to do the things that they want to do for their life. You got to do it all.
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, blessings, sister. Thank you so much for the time. And we will be keeping in touch. All right. Yeah. I'll do a quick outro. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching. This has been episode 10 of Rebel Roots, joined by the one and only Glo Moss. Yay! Thank you so much, Glo, for joining us. And if you're interested in joining an Ecovillage tour or traveling for Envision Festival, definitely get in touch with Glo. She has all the connections to all the different festivals and is always cross-pollinating and connecting with folks. So again, here's her contact information. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I know it is late at night. I am ready to go take a little slumber myself. So I will sign off now. And until next time, bye.